All right. So, for some reason, Castron seems to be having difficulties connecting. There we go.
I'm in.
As it's on.
As getting there.
Yeah, shit. Oh no, my desk is full.
Oh, it's because I haven't updated it. That's the reason why.
I didn't update it either. Whoops.
No, you did.
Oh.
I updated.
Yeah, because you guys are running 3.3.15, where I'm running 3.3.12.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't updated yet. I wonder if I update, will they add the 2021 Unearthed Arcana stuff to it? I don't know. Anyways, not the point. The point is, I don't know why you're laughing at that. Anyways, point is,
I'm just excited for that Dragonborn stuff.
So what happened last time? I'm sure you guys have many fond memories of the fact that you guys entered Rimewood Village under the care of the Great Wolf, as well as someone known as Kari the Wolf Princess, someone that Irsa, the Ice Witch of the village that you previously left, asked you to search for in order to assist with Ursa's sister. Now, upon arrival, though, you guys were kind of discussing the things that you could do in order to assist Kari with. One of the things she promised is the fact that if you helped her with a couple different things, then she would actually personally escort you over to your destination, the destination of Stormfrost Manor. Though she thinks your journey is a journey full of folly and ridiculousness, she nonetheless decided that she would follow through with that promise. Before you guys were actually able to make any concrete plans, though, an alarm was sounded, and she ran to the wall, and you guys followed behind. It was discovered the fact that a bunch of creatures were trying to assault the village. She ran off to the north in order to assist with the defense there, and you guys decided to stay on the southern wall. And were able to repel without any of these creatures, ice mephits, or this winter wolf that came in later from actually entering the walls. You guys are currently standing in the decimation that was left afterwards of all of the corpses. What shall you do now?
Bon, skin him.
Bon is dying.
Oh no.
I'm joking. Bon is pretty hurt, though.
He is really hurt. Let me see if I have any spells.
I mean, like, all of you are pretty hurt. I think Eris is the only one that actually has some decent HP right now.
Yeah.
I've got 13, and Bastion has 16.
Yeah.
But Bastion's not here, so who cares?
Yeah, no one cares about Bastion.
Yeah. How do I?
Yeah,
Can
you-
you target Bond for me? Pretty please.
No.
Oh. Okay. Healing word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so no, what do you guys actually plan on doing?
Well, we should probably inform Kari that over here to see here.
Probably a good idea, and check and see if they need any help on the northern wall.
Probably be a good idea, yeah.
Okay, so off we go.
Okay, so no scavenging or skinning. Got it. So, you guys make your way through the village up towards the north. And die. It's horrible. I'm sorry.
Shit.
Yeah, the blizzard dragon suddenly attacks.
Oh no.
No, I'm joking.
Hi,
No, you guys
cowboy.
make your way towards the north, and as you guys make your way north, you see the fact that quite a few villagers seem to be sort of milling about and talking. They don't really seem as stressed out. In fact, they seem a little elated at this point in time. It's pretty safe to assume the fact that the battle is literally over at this point.
Cool. Guess try and find, Literally, we just said her name. What the fuck is wrong with me? Kari, thank you.
Alright. So, you guys start wandering around, looking for Kari.
Oh. We should probably ask people if they've seen her.
So, you ask some of the villagers where Kari is at, and 99% of them literally do not speak to you.
Isn't it Bond that was the one that knew how to speak their language?
But during this entire time,
Okay.
Bon
I forgot. They don't speak our language.
Bon is able to understand a few things from what is being said. Bon, you understand the fact that it seems like as if, obviously, this is not the first, nor probably the last time that this village has been attacked by such creatures, as well as, from what is being said, a tribe of barbarians. They all seem to be trying to attack them for something that they're calling the cubes of fire. Even for you, though, they don't really actually talk to you. They sort of just kind of give you weird looks. There's like only really like one person who ends up actually talking to you. And it's more of like this younger guy, probably around like 17, maybe 18 years old. And he kind of like looks to you guys nonchalantly and talks once again in Primordial. If you're looking for the lady, then you're going to find her in her hut. Either that or on the northern wall.
I would say thank you, but I can't. I don't understand them.
Yep.
Oh.
He just looks at you and shrugs. Whatever. And then walks off.
It would seem she'd either be at her hut or at the wall to the north where she went to go defend.
Alright, so I guess check her hut? Or do we want to... Aren't we at the wall? Or are we just at the northern
No.
part? Okay.
You guys were heading towards the wall, and then you guys retconned it to asking people where she's at.
Oh. Well, do we want to go to the wall or check her hut?
check the wall first.
Alright, let's go check the wall.
Okay. You guys get to the wall. The guards give you looks of wariness, some of them seeming annoyance. Look upon a field of devastation where you see dozens upon dozens of winter wolves that have been utterly decimated.
Oof.
Beyond. A lot of them have been mauled to death, though some of them you see are filled with tons and tons of quarrels from crossbows. But no Kari. You do see some people, probably hunters or maybe just normal villagers, you can't really tell, that seem to be skinning the wolves that are completely destroyed beyond the northern wall.
Alright, then to the hut we go.
She's not there. No, I'm joking. She's there.
Fuck! The teenager lied to you, Bon! Nah.
No,
Oh,
you see the great wolf in a very shrunken down form laying down outside the door, just like before. You see Kari is once again, having left the door open, lounging around on this sort of like half couch, half chair sort of thing. And there is 3 people that are actually standing in front of her. 2 of them are kneeling on the ground, and the other one has their head bowed down. They are not talking. Kari just seems to be staring at them.
Are we interrupting anything? Kind of like pokes my head in.
She doesn't look to you at first. She sort of like stares at them, and then as she speaks, she starts to slowly look towards your group.
No, not anything important. Not now. Leave.
She gets up and she shoos the 3 people that were in the hut beforehand. And she walks out and she sits down right next to the great wolf and just like leans up against him.
Well, I guess I have your group to thank for these fiends not invading the village from the south. So for that, I thank you.
You're very welcome.
We did offer our help, so hopefully this helps in proving that we do want to help.
It does assist in that. A great deal, actually. Before I mentioned that there were 2 tasks that I needed assistance with. One of them has to do with those group of 3 people that were here just now. Do you know of the different clans that exist within this lands?
We've been told of them before, and been told to keep our distance. Not really friendly with strangers.
Those were the supposed diplomats from the Red Eagles in the south.
Hello.
Welcome!
Sup, dude?
Dude. What's good, dude?
Are you gonna get in Fantasy Grounds?
Huh?
Are you gonna get in Fantasy Grounds?
Maybe in a second.
Okay.
I sound tired.
Deadly so.
Same here.
Yeah. As she says that, she looks towards the ground, and you see a strange look kind of flit across her face for a moment before she, like, punches her fist into the ground, and gives out a large sigh.
Right now, they're demanding that I either marry their chief, or they'll attack the village with their full force, which they haven't done yet.
Cassie's just gonna arch an eyebrow at that and just like, oh really? Not very appetizing.
No, of course not. The main thing is that me and the Great Wolf has promised this village's autonomy, which means that we can't actually follow through with the marriage. So it will come down to a fight. But this village is not prepared enough to deal with the entire clan of the Red Eagles.
So you want us to try and do something about that? Eris says as she tilts her head.
I don't want you to try and do something about that. I want you to be guards of me as me and the Great Wolf make our way there. In order to talk to them face to face, to turn down the proposal and see if there isn't a different proposal that can be made. The marriage cannot happen, but that doesn't mean that we can't do something else, make a different deal, a contract of some sort.
Sounds fair.
I see.
Your only job would be that if things go wrong, not to kill them, but to just make sure that we escape.
Very well.
Of course, if it comes down to it, as the wild always decides, it's either your life or theirs. I have no qualms with you taking their lives, just that it will not be the main point. Of course, if you don't wish to help with this task, you have already helped me once. And you did promise my sister that you're only going to assist me with one task in return for her aid. There is another task, should you not wish to assist with this one, that I do need some dire help with. The Winter Wolves used to all follow the Great Wolf and his mate. Ever since his mate fell to some strange force to the north. Many of the Winter Wolves have turned their back on his lead as well as my own.
Noticed that whenever I tried to barter with them and mentioned your name, they all turned and snarled.
Even mentioning my name does not have much sway over them, even whenever they did follow the Great Wolf. It's the Great Wolf they follow, not me.
Ah, good to know.
But they've lost confidence and respect for the Great Wolf since his mate was lost and he did nothing about it.
Speaking of that, in their cave in the back of it, there was a giant wolf frozen in ice.
Casseron nods. Touched it, nearly lost my hand.
You see an obvious look of grief pass through Kari's face, and there seems to be a strange flicker of emotion that you can barely detect across the Great Wolf's face as well, even though he is an animal.
I'm assuming
Yes,
that's who that was.
that is the Great Wolf's mate. The thing that, whatever it was, it froze her solid with some sort of power, and we weren't able to undo it at the time. The only thing that me and the Great Wolf wish at this point is just to discover what creature or being did this and have them undo it so that way we can give his maid proper burial.
Castron nods. We did see a blizzard dragon on our way here, but we're not sure if that's the actual thing that did it.
That's not the creature that did this.
That's good.
No, it's something else. Something residing within the fallen capital city, as far as we've been able to tell. The Winter Wolves mostly make their home around there, the ones that at least follow this creature now. The fact that you ran into them in the Rhine Woods means that they were waiting there in order to attack the village. I'm surprised that there wasn't more, to be honest.
I believe they were attacked by the dragon.
Serves them right. Regardless, those are the two tasks that I need assistance with. If there's one that you wish to do over the other one, then I have no qualms with you assisting me. But like I said, you have done what my sister has asked of you, so if you wish to make your way to Stormfrost Manor without, then I have no reason to stop you.
I will say probably the more pressing one is dealing with the other village.
Yeah, I don't mind attempting to do both.
True. Any say to you, Bon or Fate?
I agree. Probably dealing with the other village first is more important at the moment.
Very well. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure that these strange ice methods that keep attacking us, as well as the Winter Wolves, are done just yet. We'll set out within a couple days. If there's anything that you wish to procure, then I'd recommend doing so within these 2 days. I should rest.
I think
You see that-
they need rest as well.
You see that as she says that, she slowly gets up, and she actually sort of staggers for a moment before the Great Wolf is actually up and already, like, assisting her with standing by, like, leaning up against her. And she gives a bit of a small smile towards him, and then slowly walks into her hut, and she actually closes the door behind her. And you hear a soft click, and there's complete silence from there now. And even the villagers that were around seem to be completely silent. And you see the fact that they all seem to be giving, like, a respectful bow towards Kari's hut. And without even a further word, not even a murmur, they all leave the area.
Should probably find a place to rest.
Place to rest. I would like to procure more potions. Maybe a spare healer's kit. I know I only used one charge, but in these condition and areas, I'd like to get more. At least one more to be safe.
We should probably get more things to make fire.
That too. That too. But let's procure a place to sleep and rest. She said we had a couple days.
As you guys are talking about this, one of the villagers that are walking away just, like, gives you guys an angry look and just, like, shushes towards you as they're still leaving the area.
Casson kind of getting quiet, just like, I think we need to be quiet.
one of them says in Primordial, "Just leave. Let the Wolf Princess rest."
I'll start moving.
Yeah.
Cast on a nod and start following.
So after walking for a few minutes, you guys get far enough away from the hut to where you actually see some of the villagers. They start, like, it starts out with like whispers and things like that, but then it starts going into full-blown normal conversations and stuff like that about 5 minutes after that, as you guys make your way far enough away from the hut to where the villagers feel comfortable enough talking. Bon, from what you're understanding, it seems like it's pretty much mostly talking about the annoyance of these supposed diplomats that are residing within the village, and they're constantly insulting them. Like, they are not even hiding it at all. The fact that they absolutely hate these people's guts. There's also some talk about the winter wolves that keep attacking from the north, and the fact that they also pretty much hate the winter wolves' guts for the most part, considering the fact that they've turned their back on their alpha and their master. And they're pretty much constantly calling them traitors. You do hear a couple people that are talking about going out to procure some supplies with the malicious help and things like that from the forest as well as the surrounding areas. And while you guys are sort of just wandering away from Kari's hut, one of the people walk up and give you not really a bow, but sort of a nod, and speaks in sort of like broken common almost. "You need place of rest, correct?"
We do.
"Come with me." And he turns around and he starts walking towards the western side of the village.
Cast will smile at the group and nod. Very well.
Fate's gonna pull his pants up over his belly and gonna walk behind him.
You guys are led towards the western side of the village. Literally, like, pretty much right next to the wall. It's very quiet on this part of the village. There's not really a whole lot going on currently. You could probably safely guess that this is probably more of a resident area rather than anything else. There doesn't seem to be any bartering, any stalls, any shops or anything like that that are set up in this part of the area. It seems more focused on the main road going from the south towards the north, as well as just like circling out from there. With you being on the very outskirts of this, there doesn't seem to be any of those things going on. He leads you to a building. Oh my god, I cannot stop yawning. Sorry. He leads you to a building. It's somewhat on the large side, about the same size as Kari's, but as you open the door, you see the fact that there's like 5 doors on the inside, and they're all pretty tiny rooms. Literally, it has like a bed and a nightstand, and that's pretty much it.
Small and comfy.
He stands next to it, and he looks back towards you guys. He has had a hood on, so you haven't really been able to actually see him. But as he looks back towards you, he does pull off the hood, and he has this very dark complexion, unlike a vast majority of the people here. He does not look like he's from here at all. As well as this really dark black hair and brown eyes. His the left side of his face has like this horrible scar that looks like as if he's been clawed across it, and it looks like as if he's blind in his left eye. And then his right eye is sort of almost slitted looking. Kind of hard to tell though, unless you get a really good look at him. It almost looks like as if it's sort of reptilian in nature, but with how dark his iris is, it's sort of hard to tell. He does gesture towards the building. You rest here. And then he gives you a nod, and he walks off.
Thank you.
Thank you. You don't look you're around here from here.
He looks back towards you, looking slightly confused. I don't understand much common. And he just kind of gives you a shrug and then turns around and walks away.
Sorry.
He knows more than most of the people here, so it's kind of refreshing.
You see in the building right next to this, someone walks out of it. I didn't explain the garb of the people that were in the Kari's room, but you see all three of them, and they seem to be probably residing within the building right next to yours. Two of them are men. One of them much taller than the other one, probably standing closer to Bond's height, standing somewhere in the 6 foot. The other one is probably around like 5'9", thereabout. And then the third person is very clearly a woman. The woman and the shorter man seem to be in deference to the taller man. All three of them are wearing sort of like hides for the most part, like leather armor and hides. Though the taller one seems to also be wearing what looks like sort of like a half robe almost. He sort of it looks like as if he's wearing a robe, sort of like a cowled cape almost, rather than an actual robe in some weird way.
Neat.
And you can see the fact that this robe is red and white. And on the back of this robe, as well as on what looks like the front of their chests, which the woman has, let's say, very little going on in the clothing area on the upper part of the body, as does the other man. They have what looks like a tattoo of a red eagle. There's these strange swirls that seem to go out from it that are sort of like this whitish blue color that seem to swirl out and curl towards their arms and go down their arms in this sort of like swirling fashion. The tallest man sort of, you can barely see his mouth from under the cowl of the kind of cloak, but he gives you a smirk from what you can tell.
The villagers can actually speak common quite well. They just don't wish to speak with you.
I mean, understanding from looking at me. At least from some of the stories I'm told.
Oh, it has nothing to do with you being a tiefling, my friend. That would have to do with the barbarous villages to the east, as well as some of the random settlements to the west.
Interesting. Good info to know. Thank you very much. What's your name, friend? And he'll, like, offer a hand as a handshake.
He takes the hand, and for some reason, he doesn't, like, shake it. He grabs it, and he seems to have this...
He seems to have this, strange strength. He looks sort of, like, wiry and lean. Not, like, sort of muscled, like a lot of the other people around this area are. But he has this, like, strange strength in him as he grabs your hand, and you try and start to shake it, but you can't move your arm for a moment. And he sort of just bends down, and he presses the back of your hand to his forehead for a moment.
May the eagles guide your path.
And he lets go of your hand, and you see that sort of, like, strange smile on his lips. As before, you can't see his eyes as he's looking down towards you.
Thank you very much.
My name is of no concern for you, but should we become better friends, then I would see no harm in sharing it. After all, I would imagine that the Wolf Princess Kari would probably be asking you strangers for assistance. Or else, why else would you be in her village?
Yes, we're actually going to be accompanying her as bodyguards.
You see a look of weariness in the two people that are accompanying this man as they seem to move their arms kind of towards their back, where you can see what looks like a hilt of something is peeking out from their backs. And he holds out a hand towards his left side.
Now come. There is no need to get hostile. We are in friendly territory after all.
Exactly. And plus,
So you're saying you're going to be accompanying the Wolf Princess?
Yes, all of us will be.
He takes a step towards you and he leans down towards your face, right next to your ear, and he whispers,
For one that follows Lyra, you seem to be very bad at holding secrets. Stupid one.
He stands back up to full height, still having that smile on his face as he looks down towards the group.
Casson arches a brow looking up at him. Not much of a secret to really withhold, since you'll be seeing us there.
Oh, but what you don't understand is the connotations of what you saying that and you accompanying the Wolf Princess could mean. For being a follower of Lyra, you don't seem to have much of a brain. Unfortunate, really. It's fine. Let me tell you what this could mean. This could mean one of two things.
He kind of like kneels down towards the ground and is looking up at you guys. And you can see the fact that his eyes are like this deep blue color. Very unmatching with the rest of his skin, which also seems to, weirdly enough, be the same like sort of foreign darkish skin as the other man that you saw before. Though the other two people that are with him are very pale like the rest of the people that are here.
What this could mean is Kari is afraid of us, which is highly doubtful. Very doubtful. Which means that it would probably be the other thing. And that is the fact that she's going to reject our leader Rakim's generosity. Which means the fact that it is most likely going to be a fight. And what other reason would she have strangers accompany her to use as sort of sacrificial pawns instead of her own villagers? Now, I could probably infer even more and say the fact that she probably said something like attacking is not the main point of it, and you're only there to possibly reject the marriage and possibly make some sort of other concession or contract or deal or something like that. But the main thing is, she's rejecting the offer. And you gave all of that away by simply saying that you strangers in this village are following her.
He stands back up to his height, and he pulls out from under his cloak what looks like a red mask, a red half mask that sort of covers both of his eyes and curves around his face to only cover half his mouth, and he puts it on.
You do the mistress of mists a great disservice, small one.
And he gives you a grin as he laughs and he walks back into his building.
Caston's eyes just narrow as he's doing his best to hold his rage. Not so much at him, but so much at, like, he gets what he's saying. He fucked up.
From there, you do see the fact that these three people do retreat into the building. The two followers, whose names were not given either, one of them actually looks back towards you and gives you a smirk. The woman does. She gives a smirk, like as if she's looking down on you guys, of like a "ha, we won" sort of look.
As they leave and the door closes, Castle will just hiss and walk behind, just like under his breath, passing the other two, just like, "It's the last thing I do, I will wipe that smirk off with a dagger."
Eris will just sigh, shake her head.
Well then, you guys have a couple days before setting out towards the south. What shall you do?
I guess drag Bon around to see if we can maybe buy some healing potions and maybe another. Actually, I went and looked at my healer's kit. I think I'm good for now. I have 9 more uses of that left. So
Yeah.
mainly just get more healing potions.
Okay. You guys search around. And there are no healing potions.
Cool.
In fact, that's the reason why there are people going out into the woods as well as the surrounding areas, is to get materials for making healing potions.
Got it. Cool. Fun.
So there might be some in the coming couple of days, but at this point in time, there are no healing potions. Is there anything else that you guys wish to look for? Or do?
Well, if we're out shopping, Bon would just look to see what kinds of things they have. He's not after anything particular.
All right. Roll me percentile.
Yay!
Okay. So as you guys...
Power to do that.
So, as you guys are, wow. Yeah, as you guys are, unless it's only Bond that's wandering around for this.
Yeah, I'll just be tagging along.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of have to stick with them because we can't talk to anybody.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you guys have figured out the fact that they do understand common. They're just literally refusing to speak common with you guys.
Which is fine. Not really.
But, alright, so you guys are following Bon. And, Bon, as you're looking around, you're kind of looking over a couple of the few shops as well as a couple of the stalls that are around here. It's more of bartering between the people rather than really like any purchasing. More like, oh, like swapping some hides for like these herbs, or swapping like these like repaired item, or like repairing these items in return for getting this sort of item. It's a lot more bartering oriented commerce system within this village than anything else. A lot of villages are like that, but it seems more heavily so in this village rather than anything else. They seem to not have very much of a value for money. But there is a very familiar voice that you hear. And God, you literally had a 3% chance of running into her, and you rolled a 3. There's a very familiar voice that you hear. And following to that voice, you see a quite beautiful-looking, probably human woman in a scantily clad dress with long black hair that you recognize as Kari's sister, Irsa, that seems to just be kind of like meandering among the stalls, looking none the worse for wear, almost like as if she has been here the entire time.
Well, look who we just ran into.
I thought we were the ones supposed to be checking up on your sister.
She is kind of looking at something and then turns around. Seeing you guys, she kind of like gives what looks like as if she's surprised, like she looks like as if she's surprised look on her face.
Oh! I didn't expect you all to be here already. How fared your travel through the woods?
It was okay. Had a dealing with winter wolves, but...
Bon, you're able to see the fact that she was expecting you guys to already be here. And she seems to be having some sort of fun with this. She did look slightly surprised about the fact that you guys did find her.
Cashon's not even caring. He's still stewing over like the night, that night.
Wonderful journey, lots of lovely sights. It's been a great time.
Yeah, great.
You see the fact that she disappears from sight and is actually, from what the rest of you could tell since you were following Bon, is actually right behind him, like kneeling on the ground, like touching the boots.
I'm assuming that these did you a good service then.
Actually, yeah.
Seems like as if you've gotten some use out of them. Oh, you guys are not looking too well though. Hey, let me fix you right up.
She snaps her fingers. And immediately you guys are all fully healed.
Thank you for that. It didn't look so good because we just got done defending the south.
Oh, I know. Why do you think I sent you guys here in the first place? I told you that my sister needed assistance. Of course, you're probably now wondering, since I'm here, why I didn't help her myself, but there's reasons for that.
Go on.
Oh, don't look like that. I'm not going to be telling you any of it.
Yeah, fine.
As a follower of Lyra, you should understand the meaning of secrets. Of course, I'm not going to tell you all that. But regardless,
Casson
you
just
did do what I asked.
Casson just grumbles and just turns away.
You see Irsa has a sort of perplexed look on her face as she looks towards the rest of you.
What's wrong with him?
Running with the Eagle clan.
Oh, yes.
She gives a very knowing smile as you see the fact that she disappears again, and she has her hands around your shoulders, Casseron, and her face is right next to yours. You smell this sort of like weird, like cool mintiness from her.
Bit close.
Oh, it's fine. I assume that you had a dealing with their diplomat.
Rolls his eyes, looking just unenthused. Yeah, you could say that.
She lets go of your shoulders, and she appears right in front of you guys again, and she has her hands behind her back as she like leans towards you all.
Oh, I imagine that must have been frustrating then. You seem like as if you might have given something important away. He probably took advantage of that. Well, he's not a cleric of the era. He does have siblings that follow the Mistress of Mists.
Casson just pauses. Can I do like a history, like an insight roll to see if he looks like somewhat similar to my recruiter or friend?
He doesn't.
No, okay.
He doesn't at all. He doesn't look like you. Like I said, that skin color is actually foreign to you all.
Okay. Fate your phone. Yeah. Okay.
You guys are not used to that really dark skin color. That is not normal around the Kingdom of Rodane. Even Avengarde, which is renowned for having people from all around the world kind of come there, and a sort of place of respite from the rest of the world for the most part. You don't see that skin color really anywhere. Like the closest that you've seen is probably Duke, but it's more just the fact that he's super deeply tanned rather than anything else.
Got it. Okay. Never mind then.
You do feel a strange pulse of power come from Irsa, though, as she's leaning towards you guys, and you see her eyes go from looking like as if they're full of smiles to looking like dead cold as she stares at you all for a moment.
But if whatever information that you told them harms my sister in any way, I may very well kill you all. So be careful of what you say.
And then immediately she's all smiles again. She seems much more upbeat and carefree than whenever she was in the previous village.
Yeah, it's probably best not to just not interact with those guys anymore.
Oh, don't worry, I'll definitely keep my distance.
Anyways, while we were out here in the first place, put together maybe some supplies to head on our little trip with your sister.
Oh, really? What is it exactly that you need?
I would turn to the other two.
Something to aid us in a quick escape.
You see the fact that she seems to, like, out of nowhere, just, like, have this paper appear, and she's, like, sort of, like, writing down what you're saying with, like, a giant grin on her face.
Make sure to, I don't know, something to help persuade people and changing their mind, or mainly probably just...
You hear the
Thanks.
disconcerting words of,
Got it. Mind control potion.
as she seems to be writing something down on the paper.
Catherine literally just, like, hearing that, pauses, just turns around to look at her, just like, excuse me?
She stops for a moment and then looks towards you, and then looks confused.
What? I'm just writing down what you're saying.
No, you're fine. I didn't think they made those. Never mind, continue.
Made what?
Doesn't matter. Anyway.
Things that could help start fires.
Oh, yeah, fires are nice.
Yeah.
Scrolls of fireballs.
That's Jessica laughing. Oh god, this lady.
Maybe more of these. I pull out one of my last firebomb. I got these from the kobolds. They seem to work quite well out here.
She appears right in front of you and grabs it and is sort of looking it over.
I don't have the exact materials that they used in order to make this, but I could probably make do with some other things.
Oh, maybe something to, like, shield us or hide us? Like...
She puts the firebomb back in your hands, Bon, and she turns around and is starting to walk back towards where she teleported from. And as she's doing so, she once again scribbles on the paper.
Explosives. As you were saying, Casron.
Something to shield us or hide us would be actually a good idea. Something to where they couldn't see us, and we can immediately
Cloak of
get out.
invisibility. I don't know if I have that one, but we'll see.
I mean, do you have darkness?
She snaps her fingers. You guys cannot see anything now.
Okay, well, yep. I get it.
Is that going to be all?
Ugh. Man, I wish Bastion was here so I could have some help thinking of ideas, but no, it's fine. Unless you can think of any other additions. That's as much as I can think of right now.
How much is this gonna cost us?
Oh, we'll have to see here in a moment. Don't worry, I'm just taking down what you're wanting, and then we'll see.
Cashon's pocketbook is asleep.
You can't see her, but you have a feeling that she's kind of like dancing side to side, like as if she's kind of excited. You just have this like weird energetic feeling coming from her direction. The darkness is still there.
I don't think we need the darkness anymore, at least not right now.
Oh, but it's so much fun, don't worry.
I'll take it.
Fate, yeah. Fate, this is the girl that you liked.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. He's being mellow.
Yeah, you haven't been getting on as much lately. Has something changed in your schedule or something?
No.
So here's kind of continues dancing back and forward in the darkness as you guys are discussing amongst yourselves on other things. For random villagers start commenting in Primordial. What is this bloody blob of darkness doing here? Ursa, was that you again? You hear a sigh come from the darkness, and then a snap of the fingers again.
Oh, thank God.
Fine.
I can see.
Whatever, regardless, is this all that you're needing?
I believe so. Unfortunately, that's all I can really think of.
Yeah.
Alright then, follow me.
I follow
She looks
her.
over towards one of the villagers that was kind of addressing the darkness.
Ronaldo, I'm borrowing your door for a moment. And then she walks over towards a random hut.
And you see the fact that she casts some sort of spell, and then just opens the door and walks through.
I go through.
And as you guys walk through the door, you recognize the place that you're in. Of the very well-furnished area of the house, except for you are directly within the room in which you guys originally greeted her.
Huh.
Fireplace still crackling. It feels a lot warmer. Less like as if you're about to freeze your extremities off. Though it wasn't that cold in the village. It was still cold, but it wasn't that cold. But it's so much warmer here. She walks in, sits down for a moment, motions with a gesture. You see the door opens up, and floating items start to make their way into the room. They seem to be like books and scrolls and other things like that.
So we're basically going on a...
Take a seat for a moment. Shut up, don't say anything. I have to do something for a moment, and then I'll lead you to where you'd be able to buy some of these items that you're requiring.
Oh, okay, never mind.
She seems right back to the weird, like, distant and, like, cool Ursa that you remember seeing back in the village originally.
There, we'll just quickly sit down.
She seems to be looking over these scrolls and books for a moment. She has a pair of glasses on now, though you have a small inkling that she probably doesn't need them. But she's wearing them regardless. And she seems to be writing some stuff down in a book that you could probably assume is a ledger of some sort. Before she finally puts down the feather quill, gives out a sigh, and then claps her hands twice. And as she does so, the door opens, and this time instead of random items floating through the door, you actually see what looks like a werewolf in a butler uniform walk into the room. Is there something you need, my lady?
Yes, if you could show our guests, have them follow you towards Shopping District 3.
Gives a bow. Of course. He looks over towards the rest of you, and he holds up a clawed hand, and he motions for you to follow, and then he turns around without a word, and he leaves the room.
I go
Get
to
up and
follow.
follow him. I'll say thank you to Ursa as we leave.
She just kind of motions away with her hands as she looks like as if she's going back to reading over the scrolls. Not really giving you guys any more mind. You follow this werewolf butler through the mansion. He goes immediately to the right, and he goes through 3 different doors before he opens up another door, which seems to lead into what looks like a large vault. But weirdly enough, there is floating clothes standing behind different stalls. The butler stands off to the side and sort of motions for you to go in.
I'll go in.
I follow.
Kind of tilting my head in at the weird scene of floating clothes.
They are humanoid and shit. It looks like as if there's something human wearing them. You just can't see it. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check, Eris. You can tell that this is a spell, though it's not a spell that you recognize. This is not a spell that you remember ever being cast within your hometown.
Some sort of magic, but never seen this kind of magic.
The servants. Regardless. Any sort of item that you wish to procure that you've told Mistress Irsa about, you'd be able to find here. Bring it up to one of the servants, and they'll tell you how much it costs. I wouldn't recommend bothering to try and barter with them. They've been told how much each item costs, so they will accept nothing more, nothing less. They won't accept other items in return for it either.
Eris will approach one.
I will also start
And,
looking.
Oh, shit.
Pretty much, tell me what you want to try and find, and I'll tell you if you can find it here.
I'm trying to remember the list. I remember School of Fireball. She mentioned freaking cloaks of invisibility.
Which she may or may not been serious about. You have no idea. You don't even know if she was serious about the Scrolls of Fireball, to be honest.
Yeah, true. She's strange.
I'm gonna look for any darkness scrolls.
So, you start thinking about darkness scrolls in your mind. And as you do so, you feel this sort of like weird haze start to like appear kind of in front of you. And as you do so, like as you're looking around, you like look to the left and then you look to the right, kind of scanning back and forth. And then like as you look back to the left, you notice that there seems to be like a shelf amidst like all the random junk here. And I mean like there's like crap everywhere. There's gold coins on the floor. There's like books that are sort of like piled from the floor up to the ceiling in different spots. There's brooches and jewels, as well as random scrolls here and there. There's swords that are like sticking out of like small piles of gold, or even chests and stuff like that, as well as axes and maces, things like that. There's all sorts of crap that is just like piled up all over the place in here. But as you say that, you're sort of like looking back and forth, and you pick up some of the scrolls, and then you look back in the direction that you looked away from, and you don't remember it being there. But there seems to be like sort of beyond this third pile of gold, there seems to be what looks like a sort of scroll case has multiple scrolls in it. And looking through it, you do find the fact that there are a couple scrolls of darkness there.
Okay. Anything for Misty Step?
Roll me a percentile for that.
Cool. 95?
As you are looking around, you do find... Yeah, I'd say that you do find a scroll of Misty Step. After some looking through all the scrolls on there, you have a feeling. Roll me an insight real quick.
Insights.
As you were looking through the scrolls, you pulled out the 2 scrolls of darkness out of this scroll case.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're looking through the scrolls, you noticed that the slot that you took the scrolls of darkness out of seem to have more scrolls in them, and you don't remember them being there before. They're not the Misty Steps one, but these scrolls seem to have appeared out of nowhere. But you do find a Misty Step scroll, and as you take it and you add it to your pile of scrolls, you look back and there's another scroll where the Misty Step scroll was.
I just want to look at it, peek and see what it says. Not so much take it out, but I'm curious of what it's replacing itself with.
It's just another random scroll. This one just so happens to be a scroll of mage armor.
Oh. Interesting. Eris, I don't know if it'll be useful for you, but possibly a scroll of mage armor here.
The scales are better.
Alright.
I was about to say, Eris, you know for a fact that the mage armor spell is useless for you. But yeah.
I want to hope, the way you said it, you looked slightly offended at me.
She actually kind of was.
It's great. It's beautiful.
Eris is going to then think about a book on the elementals, actually.
So as you're doing that, you're looking around. You see piles of books. You kind of go through the stuff that you can. And as you're rounding your 5th pile of treasure, roll me a dexterity save.
Oh.
You're kind of looking around. You're kind of looking around. And then the rest of you hear this rumbling happen from deeper within this vault of treasure. And you see a gigantic cloud of dust rising in the distance. As Eris, you get absolutely buried in books. And as you finally dig yourself free of them, you notice as you're laying on top of these books, oh, there's a book of elementals right here.
God, the dust.
Oof. She's gonna pick it up and say, I guess look at the index to see if if it says anything about on the primordial elementals.
It doesn't go into depth on the primordial elementals. From what you can tell, this seems to be more of a basic book that talks about the elementals and their respective planes, as well as some of the other planes that connect the 4 major planes of the elementals. It seems to go a little bit into some major locations that are located within the elemental planes, such as the city of Brass and things like that. But it doesn't actually specifically talk about like primordial elementals or anything like that. It also doesn't mention anything about the elemental hearts.
She'll still take it because it could still come in useful, or hold on to it rather. So then think about maybe.
You do notice one thing in particular in this book, within the index. And it catches your eye because of what it's called, and you, for a moment, it brings to mind something that was mentioned to you. And it had something to do with a great old dragon's treasure. And it was some sort of riddle. You can't quite recall it, but it was some sort of riddle that had to do with the treasure of a great dragon being hidden on the Pale River. And you notice in the index, there is a entry on the Pale River within this book of elementals. Also, Castron, in case you didn't notice forever ago, Bond did ask you a question.
Oh, no, I didn't even see that.
Okay, sorry, I was just, that. Trying to take a note of that.
Honestly, just...
Since you were doing things with Eris.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Well... You kind of just think of it, and it kind of appears after you look for it the third time. It's kind of weird. We, like, think of what you're looking for.
Do you look into the entry in the book on what the Pale River is?
Yeah, I was about to say I was gonna look at that. I was just waiting for Castron to talk.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You open it, and you look inside, and you start reading it, and you notice something strange for a moment about this book. Roll me another Arcana check real quick. Do this one with charisma if you can change that on your own. If not, then I will change it for you. Okay. You feel, as you're opening the book and you're looking through it, you feel like as if there's something off about it at first. And you can tell that there is magical energy in this book itself. And you can't quite figure out what it was. But there was something strange. But regardless, you do read the entry on what is known as the Pale River, and it tells you the fact that it originates within the Great Dismal Delve, which is in the elemental plane of Earth, and it flows through a particularly filthy area of the elemental plane of water. It's a mixture of mud and dirt and grime. It's quite the filthy looking river, but it does connect the two planes to each other. And from what you remember, it seems like as if a great dragon of ages past may have hidden their treasure within the connecting area between the two planes.
Yeah, Eris is definitely gonna take the book now.
All right.
She's then gonna think about a fire scroll. I was trying to think about initially trying to think of if there was anything else.
You think of fire scroll, and as you're looking around, you kind of dig yourself out from the books, and you step off from them. And as you're looking around, you feel like as if you hit a dead end. There's just giant walls of treasure all around you, and you turn around, feeling a sort of sadness come over you of having to climb over the giant mound of books, only to figure out that the books seem to be gone. And behind you, and sort of stuck in between some piles of treasure, things like that, sort of almost unnoticeable, there seems to be a bookcase, but this one seems to be not only filled with books, but also scrolls. And as you're looking through it, you notice Books of Fire, How to Start a Fire, Book of the Fire Planes, Scroll of Fireball, Scroll of Fireball, Scroll of Controlled Fireball, Scroll of Firestorm. Like, literally, almost if there was a freaking thing that had to do with fire, this bookshelf suddenly has it.
Oh. I was about to make a lame joke about there's so much fire stuff on this bookshelf, it should be on fire.
You feel like as if that should be the case. Literally everything on this bookshelf has to do with fire. Literally everything. If it's not directly dealing with either starting a fire or casting some sort of fire spell in some sort of way, it has to do with something related to fire, such as elementals, or, like, weirdly enough, you actually do see a book of cooking using fire.
Beautiful.
Which seems absolutely redundant to you, because almost all cooking is done with fire, but, you know, there is a book that is literally titled Cooking with Fire. Now you see what happens whenever you think of something too vague.
Yeah, I meant to say Scroll of Fireball, but it was... I'm tired of it. I'll put
No, you're fine. I really wanted someone to think of something vague like that anyway, so I was...
It worked out.
Yeah. But, yeah, you're able to see some scrolls of Fireball and things like that.
Yeah, I'll go for a Scroll of Fireballs.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we'll have enough money to buy too much.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Besides that, Vaughn, what in particular have you been thinking of? Because depending on what you've been thinking of, your surroundings have been changing as you are looking around.
Well, this is going to be fun then, because all Bon has done has clear his mind, breathe, and then fill himself with ki and let his ki direct him into wherever and whatever he finds.
Oh, beautiful. I cannot wait for this.
Okay. Roll me a wisdom save.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, I like 3s today.
Apparently. So, as you do that, you start to empty your mind. And you get into the ritual meditation. And as you do so, you feel the ki sort of circling within your body. And as it does so, you start to edge more and more of the ki out, sort of searching, feeling out for something that might be important, something that you might need, something that could guide you on your quest, whatever. You're letting sort of like instinct and mysticism lead your path at this point in time. But as you do so, the ki starts to sense your surroundings, and there doesn't seem to be anything there. Everything is gone. Everything. And the ki just sort of continues going out until it's too weak for you to really sense anymore. And suddenly you feel something is watching you. Something very large and powerful. And it does not feel benign at all. In fact, it feels very malevolent. And you feel like as if it's starting to reach for you. And you open your eyes, and everything in the treasure room is gone, and you feel this enormous shadow above you, sort of starting to engulf your vision, before a hand is on your shoulder, and you feel like as if you're ripped through water. It feels very sluggish, before you see Yrsa standing behind you, a very exhausted look on her face, and a look of absolute rage.
What do you think you're doing in my home?
I honestly do not know. I was back there, and I reached out with my key, felt something, and now I'm here.
Castron, you saw for a moment that Bon completely disappeared.
Eris?
And then Yrsa appeared literally out of nowhere with Bon in hand.
Oh! Bon, where did you go? You disappeared.
I really do not know.
What did you do? What did you even think about?
Yrsa does not seem to be paying attention to you guys at all. She immediately, you see the fact that she claps her hands not twice, but 12 times. And you see the werewolf butler as well as several other people appear through the door. You see everything from Ganassi to elves to humans of people appearing through the door. And they all sort of stand to either side of her with their heads slightly bowed.
All of you, take the treasures and everything from this room. We're abandoning this section of the house. Until it stops looking.
All of them give a silent bow. And you see the fact that they pull out what looks like small satchels, which you can easily now tell are bags of holding, as they just start shoving treasure and things like that into the bags and ferrying them out. She looks back towards you, and at this point in time, Eris, you've made your way back with the things that you found.
All of you, follow me now.
I go to follow.
And she turns and she twists on her heel and immediately storms out of the vault. She looks very, very angry.
What happened? Eris will just quickly follow.
As far as I'm aware, Bon started to search for something and
all I
he
did was reach
disappeared.
out to find something with my key, and apparently I found something and it was not good.
I said think of something, not use your monk powers.
Think of something I've let go to my key and let it guide me. I have no idea what to even look for.
Yrsa seems to be almost speed walking as she walks back to her study, and you see the fact that she actually presses her palm against the oh god, what is it called? The mantle of the fireplace, and she says something in a language that I don't think any of you understand. I don't think any of you understand Abyssal.
I think Fate does.
Yeah, but Fate's
Not on.
yeah. But yeah, and she says something, and wait, no, actually, no. Don't tieflings know Abyssal?
Yeah, but I
Or
wasn't
no, that's infernal.
I wasn't. Oh, it's infernal. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
also
that's
wasn't
infernal.
raised by tieflings.
She says something in Abyssal, and you see the fact that the fireplace just seems to disappear. The heat and everything just disappears. and an enormous doorway sort of like appears where the fireplace was, and the wall just sort of like melds into this doorway, and she pushes it open and walks through.
I go to follow.
As you guys follow in, you enter into a very, very strange place. I need you all to make me Constitution saves.
Yay, Constitution.
Nice. Bon, Eris, you guys just like stand there for a moment dumbfounded at the menagerie of colors that just like deafen your eyeballs. And yes, I use that term quite literally, as that is just how weirdly out of place this seems to be. And Casseron, you actually start to feel sort of nauseous and sick from this, as you look like as if you literally just walked into a glowing kaleidoscope of rainbow colors.
Oh god.
And it's sort of difficult to make out, but it looks like as if Irsa is sort of like not really walking on a floor, and it almost looks like as if like as she's walking, she's kind of like twisting to the side and stuff like that, and it's like as if she's like starting to slowly like walk on the wall and then like starting to walk on the ceiling, but it doesn't even look like as if she's like actually moving in that direction. She looks like as if she's just walking straight ahead. And as you guys go to follow, like, it looks like as if it sort of rights it, and then as you look back, you can see the fact that the doorway now looks like as if it's at a 90-degree angle, and everything just seems really, really weird. And as you're walking down this path, you notice that that what you're walking towards seems to be some sort of weird, like, silvery gold glowing object. That seems like as if it's being chained to its surroundings. Bon. No, not Bon. Casseron, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Bon, you can roll me a religion check. Casseron.
Yep.
Just a second. Let me have Bon roll this religion check real quick. Okay, Bon, you feel... Yes, for real, though. You feel like as if these chains seem familiar in some way, though you don't quite fully know what. Casseron. It takes you a moment, and you're wondering why these chains look familiar. And then you recall a very specific part of your book, which had to do with chains that seem to be melded of pure darkness. Except for instead of darkness, these chains seem to be made of pure light. And you feel a holy celestial energy radiating from them.
Oh.
And you realize that that silvery gold color that seems to be surrounding this object, which as you're getting closer, you notice that it is actually quite large, probably about 8 feet tall, vaguely humanoid shaped. It is completely engulfed by these silvery gold chains. And you see Irsa is looking over them very, very closely. And she doesn't address you guys at all. She just continues looking over it. She's looking over every inch of the chain. She seems to even be walking up the walls of whatever weird-ass place that you're in right now. Is looking at literally every single link of the chain that she can. And you see a look of annoyance cross her face as she pauses at one of the links.
This is going to take ages to fix. Look, I know I didn't tell you all what this place was. But think of it as a connection between different planes and dimensions. It's close to the plane of limbo, of chaos. What you think can become reality. Your mind means everything here. For you to empty it,
she says with a pause as she looks towards you, Bon,
means that you empty the very plane itself that you are in. Which can lead to very, very bad things finding its way to you to fill the gaps. I knew better than to let monks into this place, but unfortunately for you, you were taught too well. Don't do it again. Luckily, there's only a small chink in the chains. It only found you for a moment.
She gives out a sigh before she motions for you guys to follow, and she starts walking back the way that she came. And as you guys exit the weird kaleidoscope corridor,
oh god,
she kind of does a snap of her fingers once more, and you see the doors slam close with a large boom sound before the walls start to, like, what looks like grow over them, and then the fireplace just sort of like magically reappears there, and you feel that heat once more.
Promised you all that I would help you get the items that you need. I won't break that promise, but I guess I'm going to have to personally accompany you.
I mean, I can just wait for them to be done.
No, it's fine. I don't want anything else untoward's happening. The last thing I need is one of the links actually breaking. Bane.
You see the werewolf open the door and make his way in, and he kneels on the ground. She gives him a look that you can tell is full of bloodlust and anger.
You will be punished later. Retire for the day. I'll attend to them personally.
He doesn't say anything. He just stands up, gives a bow, and then leaves the room.
I'm gonna roll insight.
What are you trying to insight?
On whether she's gonna, harm him or anything.
You can tell the fact that she meant that she was going to punish him, but you have no idea what that entails. You could tell that she definitely meant that she was going to punish him. But who knows what that could entail? That could mean mental harm, physical harm, or something else entirely. You have no idea.
Follow me. I'll lead you to a different vault. We can find the items that you need. And then I can set about repairing the damage done.
She leads you out, and instead of going to the right, she goes to the left, and she goes through like 8 different doors before she opens it. And beyond you is a very, very similar setting as to before, of an enormous area filled with treasures and floating clothes in the shape of humans, or humanoids, standing behind what looks like stalls. Eris, you do still have the scroll, as well as the book. Castron, same for you. You still have your scrolls.
Cool. I guess I'll go with the floating humanoids and check my prices on things I've got.
They tally up. You have 2 scrolls of darkness and a scroll of misty step.
Yes.
They tally that up to being 300 gold.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. Like 50 gold short of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and tally up on the things I got.
Alright, so you grab the Scroll of Fireball and Book of Elemental.
Yeah, I'll walk up to one of the servants and say, can you tell me the prices on these?
Yours is 200 gold and 8 silver.
I actually have that, wow.
How much if I only get one of the scrolls of darkness?
1 scroll of darkness and 1 scroll of misty step, that'd be 200 gold.
I can pay for that.
Yeah. I'll hand the servant the 200 gold and 8 silver.
Alright, you do so. And it doesn't actually talk to you, it just wrote on a sign and then like erased it. And as you hand the money, like you see that hat that's on it sort of like looks like as if it bows towards you, and you see on the sign appears the words "thank you" in common.
I'll give a little, bow back. Shit, I'm trying to think of my words now. Shit. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I'm tired. Thank you for the items.
You see the hat seem to give you another bow. It's a top hat, mind you.
Adorable.
Very classy. Floating top hat. Alright. Irsa does walk up next to you all.
Is there anything else in particular that you're looking for? I remember you asking about items for making more of these fire explosives that you have, as well as potions of healing. Things of that nature.
She seems a lot more calmed now.
Yes, shit. I'm a bit spent. I have like 54 gold left. But I guess I'll look for healing potions.
As you think that, just like, oh crap, yeah, healing potions, you turn around and there just seems to be an entire shelf filled with alchemical devices and potions of all assortments. There seems to be almost every variety of healing potion on there, from normal healing potions all the way up to supreme healing potions.
I think I can only really afford the normal, maybe.
This is gonna clear her mind. Just kidding.
Don't you fucking dare.
Romeo was insane.
No, the only thing Eris can think of right now is maybe something on the elemental arts. Because she knows that we're definitely not prepared for that. We might need information.
Alright. Is there anything that Bond tries to think of this time without emptying his mind?
Nobody is staying by the door.
That's fair.
Calls them over to help them with pricing and whatnot.
Bond.
That's a fair reaction.
Yeah. Bond, do you have a spare change any money you can spare?
I have some.
I go to the the spirit ghost thingy, the floating person, and floating invisible person, and hold up one of the normal healing potions just to see a price on it.
The potion of healing is 50 gold.
Cool. How many of these can you afford? They're 50 gold.
3 of them.
3 of them? Are you okay with sparing that much?
That's fine.
Alright. So, I go grab 3 of them and hand them to Bond to hand to the floating person.
Okay. You do so. Bond holding up the 3 potions. You see appearing on the little board that's like hanging on the stall appears 150 gold on there with the 3 potions. Do you hand the gold over?
Yep.
Okay. As you hand the gold over, the potions are pushed over towards you, and the gold like magically floats away, and you see 150 gold disappears, and the words "thank you" appear, and the top hat gives you a bow. So, elemental heart for you, Eris. You start kind of wandering through, and as you're wandering through this treasure-filled vault, roll me a dexterity save. I don't know why in the world I keep making you roll the dexterity saves. I'm sorry.
Don't lie. I'm kidding.
I have no idea. Like, I was just like, how's an interesting way to do this? So, like, as you're looking around, you trip over, and it doesn't really hurt. You just fall into a bunch of coins and stuff like that. But as you're pushing up, you feel a strange spot. It feels cool to the touch, and then it feels warm to the touch, and then rough, and then like sort of like almost as if it stops existing for a moment. And then as you hold it up, you see that it's this weird multicolored box, and it has emblazoned on it the different symbols of the elements all over it. The latch is not closed, so you could easily open the box.
I'm just gonna tilt her head, the strange box, and take a peek inside.
Books are dangerous in here. The scroll's fine. It's the books. It's the books that'll get you.
As you open it up, you feel this strange elemental pressure coming from inside it. And as you're looking at it, you see what looks like a pile of ancient documents inside this. And you're looking over it, and you don't know what it says because you can't read it.
Oh, weird runes, can't read.
I go and take a peek at it.
You're not anywhere near Eris.
Oh, I meant to. Oh, okay. Never mind.
You were watching Bon interact with the top hat.
You're right. It's very entertaining. Top hat is classy as hell.
Yeah, classy AF. But yeah.
I guess Eris will go over to Bon and ask him if he can read this. Oh,
Good question.
You
So,
can make the attempt.
Bon, you look at this, and you can't read it. You can't
Yay!
read it at all. You have no idea what this is.
Yay!
Castron, you look at this, and you also can't read this. None of you can actually read this.
I have no idea what this says.
Only Bastion and Fate were here. Maybe I could have asked them.
Yeah, Bastion powered down and just still has not woken up. I'm kind of getting concerned.
Bastion turned into a power core and is just bouncing around.
And Faye, I guess we lost him in the snow.
Lost him to the travesties of time and space. Anyways, so you guys.
A little sad, and she'll put the box where she found it.
Yeah, you guys were looking over this, and as you're looking over this, Irsa sees what you're looking at.
Oh, that old thing? That's encoded. You'd have to find a way to break the encoding on the script in order to actually figure out what it says. It's not in any actual language.
Oh. That's interesting, but alright.
I was never really too interested in all that. You can take that. It's whatever. I imagine that would probably assist you in your pointless endeavors. I mean, anyway.
Are you sure?
I don't really care too much. Honestly.
Well, thank you.
She seems a lot more worn out sounding.
You don't mind.
Okay. Is there anything else that you guys wish to look for?
I think I have what I needed.
Bon is too afraid to.
That's
fine.
fair.
That's fair.
I understand that.
Bon, is there anything you want me to try and find for you?
I think I'm good.
Okay, that's
Last
fair.
time did not end well.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's fair.
that's very fair.
Okay. So, with that being the case, you guys make your way out of the vault, following dear Irsa.
Thank you again, Ursa.
It's not an issue. These vaults exist for a reason.
Like I said, she seems worn out. She leads you all back to her, office meeting sort of area.
Sitting, maybe reading room?
Yeah, she kind of does. She does a lot of things here.
Are you alright, Yusa?
Pulling your friend out of the strange abyss that he found himself in was tiring. It wasn't his fault.
Apologies.
I should have mentioned that before. I just didn't think that someone would attempt to do something like that after it was clear that thinking of what you were looking for would find what you needed. That was an oversight on my part, and I'm sorry that my fear and anger got the better of me.
That's understandable, considering.
She sits down for a moment, resting. And she claps her hands 2 times. And instead of the werewolf butler, you see what looks like a Fire Ganassi maid walks through the door, holding what looks like a small chest, and hands it to you, Bon.
A token of apology for my anger. It was unjustified towards you. It was my own fault for not mentioning this before.
the maid like holds out the chest towards you.
I'll go ahead and open it and take a look.
You, for some reason, can't open it just yet.
Oh, okay. I'll just take it then.
Irsa gives you a bit of a smile.
You won't be able to open it just yet, not while you're within my domain, but once I return you back to the village, feel free to open it and see what it is. It's yours to keep, like I said, a token of apology.
With that, she seems to rest for a moment more before she finally stands up.
Alright. Best to return you all back to Rimewood. You've only been gone for a few hours, but nonetheless, it might cause some questions if they see you disappear with me so suddenly.
She motions for the maid to leave, and you see the maid give a little curtsy before leaving, and then exit the door. And Irsa walks over towards a wall, and then walks through the wall. And then hooks her arm back through the wall and motions for you all to follow her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we supposed to follow her? Yeah, we'll follow her.
I go to follow.
Yep.
You guys enter a small corridor that has a stone door. And as she opens the stone door, you guys exit back off into Rimewood Village. She gives a small nod towards you all.
I'm afraid this is where we're going to part. I need to make a few repairs and gather back my energy. It was entertaining meeting you all once more. Perhaps we'll do so again one day.
Hopefully that'll be nice. Eris will give her a bow.
Hopefully I won't cause as much problems next time.
She gives a slight smile.
Thanks for all your assistance.
Of course. She
seems to like disappear out of thin air, and the door seems to fade from existence for a moment before a normal wooden door reappears there. All right. Well, yeah, that was unexpected.
You're welcome.
That was kind of scary, actually.
I wasn't expecting you guys to encounter that situation in that way, so that was that was interesting.
Well, at least Bond.
Well, you know, Bond just going around causing problems.
Yeah.
Guess that's what bugbears are good at.
No.
Kidding. Ferris wouldn't say that, but some random racist asshole probably would.
All right. So you guys are just sort of left in the middle of the village. Bon, you're just randomly holding a chest. The rest of you are sort of holding books and scrolls and stuff like that. But yeah.
Well, Eris will, try to situate the stuff into her backpack.
All right. You do so. It's not too difficult. I mean, it's literally just like a book, a small box of documents, and a scroll. So it's not too hard to situate it all back into your backpack.
I guess carry my chest back to wherever we're staying.
Yep. You do so. At this point in time, it's getting close to. Let me see. Actually. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty close to not pretty close to sundown. It's pretty much sundown at this point, getting pretty close to nighttime. I had to make sure I remember what time it was.
Was this supposed to be the same day that we had that fight?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we actually took a rest. Okay.
No, you guys didn't take a rest. You guys encountered the diplomats, the diplomats of the Red Eagles, and then decided to go and look around for items and encountered Irsa. Which is the reason why I'm saying it's pretty much nighttime at this point in time.
Okay.
Because at this point in time, it's like 8:15, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, Eris is then going to start cooking us a meal.
Okay.
Of course, yeah. Using mold earth to, make the pots and pans and stuff, and
Yeah.
get a fire going.
Yeah, you do so. You get a nice fire going. You start cooking some stuff up. Okay, sorry there. As you do so, you see that some of the nearby villagers kind of give you some strange looks before not just kind of like going on. Everyone seems to, for the most part, be retiring. You do see that there are some lights off in the distance that seem to be from fires and stuff like that, but they seem to be on the walls surrounding the village. You hear and see the patrols of the militia going around the village, throughout the streets, as well as through on the walls themselves. You guys are literally like right below one of the walls on the inside of the wall, so you can actually like hear the patrol going by above. The walls are like completely made of wood, so it's pretty loud.
Well, while dinner is being made, I shall take a peek at what's inside the chest.
You open it, and it sort of looks like as if it's empty. Roll me a perception check. You're looking inside this chest, and as you're looking inside the chest, it's a normal chest. It looks like as if it has like the grainy wood and everything like that, and it kind of just looks like an empty chest for a moment there. But then, like, as you're looking at it, you notice the fact that the bottom of the chest looks off for some reason. And as you like reach down, you feel cloth instead of wood. And you grab it and you pull it up. And as you do so, it almost looks like as if you just pulled out the bottom of the chest in cloth form. And then before your very eyes, you notice the fact that the cloak seems to be sort of slowly changing. Kind of matching the background. And as you are watching it do this, you can tell the fact that it has a vaguely cloak-like shape. So it's a cloak of some sort, from what you can tell.
I'll go ahead and take it, and go ahead and put it on.
Aye. You put on the cloak of some sort. Let me add this. Boom. You now have the cloak of some sort in your inventory. That literally just says unidentified item. Alright. But yeah. After you put it on, you're sort of looking at it, and you see the fact that it kind of like takes on these weird, like, dark gray and white colors, and it sort of like starts to somewhat blend you in and camouflage you with like the snow and the darkness. Roll me a history check. You've heard of these cloaks. To the south of you, where apparently Eris is from, you've heard that their hunters and warriors often wear these cloaks. And they pretty much help them meld in with the surroundings that they are in. It is almost impossible to find them once they have actually prepared their ambush or their watch posts, as they blend in with the very nature around them with these cloaks on. You have no idea what they're called, but you know the fact that they are often seen in accompaniment with elven warriors.
Vaughn will nod and just smile, putting up the hood and then sitting back and relaxing.
So, Eris, you would see Vaughn wearing this.
Well, that's my role for the cooking. Damn.
Your mind isn't fully on the cooking like it usually is. You make a decent enough meal. It doesn't really have the full heart that you normally put into it, though. You're kind of thinking of other things. You got like this weird book that you got to decipher. You got like books on the elementals, some random riddle from years ago that you didn't think really was going to have any relevance to you. You randomly found a clue, a riddle that hasn't been solved by anyone in your village, of having to do with a great old dragon's treasures that apparently is hidden between elemental planes. You have a lot on your plate right now. You're not really focused too much on cooking, but you make a decent enough meal. But you do notice the thing that Vaughn is wearing. And you know immediately what this is. You know that what he's wearing is a cloak of elvenkind.
Ooh. After I'm handing him his meal, that's a cloak of elvenkind.
Yeah, the warriors of your village, the hunters and warriors, the watchers, almost everyone that had to deal with protecting or fighting for the village or providing for the village through any means of having to go off into the forest wore one of these cloaks. It was sort of like almost a symbol of a protector and guardian of the village. To wear a cloak of elvenkind was sort of, it wasn't really a status symbol, but it was more of like a badge of office. It garnered a certain amount of respect from almost anybody, because to wear a cloak of elvenkind means the fact that you've proven yourself worthy enough to be provided with the job of protecting the village, the town.
Cloaks such as that are kind of like a badge of honor for those who are known as like guardians and for our villages and the like.
Never knew what they were, but I've seen them before.
Over the short time of you interacting with this item, you've kind of noticed the fact that the few villagers that are sort of still meandering around kind of look over towards your group, and then they sort of do a double take in your direction in particular, Bon, as it almost seems like as if they don't really notice that you're there at first. And then they kind of like peer in and then realize who exactly it is, and then they just kind of are just like, oh, kind of thing, and then they just continue walking on. And over time, the village like fully dies down, and there's like no other noise except for the patrols. Everyone seems to have pretty much fully gone to sleep. You know what the Cloak of Elvenkind does at this point in time. You've pretty much attuned to it over the course of these few hours.
Yeah.
The Cloak of Elvenkind Perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on stealth checks made to hide, as the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you. Pulling the hood up or down requires an action. This requires the hood to be up for you to for them to have disadvantage on perception checks against you, as well as for you to have advantage on dexterity checks of stealth kind. I went against the grain for what I originally planned for Bond's first magic item to be. And it is all because of the random freaking thing that you guys just did.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, it's not like as if I was gonna complain. I wasn't expecting.
I don't think any of us were expecting that, but that was interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys rest.
Of course, kill the fire. I believe we did this right outside of our lodging, right?
Yeah, you guys did.
Yeah. I didn't remember because I was like, wait, were we actually doing this in the middle of town or some shit?
No. It's just like you guys are like kind of like on the outskirts of the town, but I mean there's still like buildings around you and stuff like that, so there would be some people that are passing by and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's the following morning. Around 7 o'clock by the time that you guys wake up. Casseron, you get the same smirk from that woman as before. Once again, they don't seem to really be wearing any really much of anything except for the tallest guy, who seems to be wearing that strange like kind of like half robe cloak thing.
I don't even pay them the bare mind.
You hear a snicker come from the follower of Lyra.
It seems like the cat's got the little Lyra follower's tongue. Doesn't even wish to give us the courtesy of wishing us a good morning. Nonetheless, good morning to you all. And hopefully you'll have a good rest of the day.
Good morning.
At least one of you have courtesy.
As he says that, he gives a little bit of a smile before he walks off.
Yeah, so, pat Casseron's back. It's okay. You'll get better at lying one day.
Casseron just looks at them, literally just glares at Eris.
I mean, I'm not wrong. It's pretty terrible deception.
Vaughn is just
Go-
gonna
This goddamn group has made me way too fucking soft.
He's trying not to.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's just technically the youngest person in this entire group, just consoling the supposed freaking chronic liar of the group. Just like, you'll be better at lying one day, don't worry.
Casseron
my
just
God.
glares at Eris. He just doesn't say a word.
Oh,
Just his
man.
eyes an arrow, and you know he's pissed.
Eris is just gonna, kind of give you a smile.
Oh man.
Oh, not you too.
God.
And like continues off.
Oh god, okay. So you guys have an entire day to sort of like wander around the village, consult amongst yourselves on stuff, all that good stuff.
Casseron's just grumbling under his breath. It's like, this goddamn group has made me too fucking soft.
Eris is actually going to, just kind of go back into our lodging and actually attempt to, more do her best to decode the documents. She doesn't know what she's doing, but she's gonna try.
How long are you going to attempt to do this?
A few hours, probably. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
How about this? For every hour that you attempt, I need you to roll me an intelligence check.
Ooh.
Castone's actually gonna look at Bon, looking a little bit just reluctant. I think I need to go bear the news of my mess up to the Wolf Princess. She's not gonna be pleased, but it's good to keep her in the know.
Well, if you'd like company, I can come with.
Please do. Gonna be honest, really don't want the wolf to chew me up into bits. But, kinda holding out his scroll, I have something to give her though.
And off we should go.
So you guys leave. Eris, you are messing around with this book. You have no idea where to even start on this. You're looking over this. You're like poring over for hours. You're kind of like thinking through like riddles, different like small encodings that the elves have used for messages and stuff like that back in the village, and nothing seems to be giving you even the slightest hint over these 4 hours. You have no idea.
Yeah. Eris
be.
doesn't have much intelligence. Eris is just gonna get a little bit huffy. Puff her cheeks.
Serves you right.
So.
Fucking roasting my ass.
You're doing something she's not good at. You're supposed to be doing something you're good at.
Fuck you.
So.
I love you, Matt,
Castra.
but fuck you.
You guys make your way to the Wolf Princess.
Kind of give a knock.
And
Hold on, sir.
A reluctant knock.
you see the fact that, well, the door isn't even closed.
Ah, well, still.
It's partially cracked open. And you hear voices inside.
I want to actually, before I knock, I'm going to pause and listen. Wait, I don't know fucking primordial. God damn it.
It's not primordial.
Oh, good. Maybe.
Wolf Princess, I've heard some interesting things this past day. It seems like as if our village isn't the only problem you have. An entity to the northwest within the old capital seems to be giving you issues, yes?
Rakim, you know what I've said before. We can deal with it on our own.
But my lady, you seem to be having issues with it right now. Barely holding on while dealing with both us and this entity to the northwest at the same time. You can't make any progress on either.
We're dealing with it, Rakim. It's not your issues.
But it could be. You could.
We're not accepting the proposal.
But my lady, that would be a mistake on your part. Think of what we could do. If your village and our tribe combined hands, we'd be able to retake the capital, deal with this entity to the northwest. Protect your village.
I've promised them their autonomy. They won't be under the Red Eagle's control or anybody else's.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong, my lady. You think that they're not under your control. But who do they follow? Themselves? Or you?
You see the door opens, and the man wearing the cloak, as well as his two followers, walks out, and he sees you two, and he gives you a smirk.
I would say that it's not nice to eavesdrop, but I guess that's just one of the habits of a follower of Lyra. Don't worry, I won't hold it against you. But now I guess you know my name. I'm Rakim the Red, chieftain of the Red Eagles.
Castle just eyes.
Oh, I seem to have
his head.
I seem to have angered the little Lyrian follower, haven't I?
He continues laughing as he just walks away. The woman once again gives you a sneering smirk.
Castle rolls his eyes at her. And then walks into the room.
You see Kari not lounging in any way whatsoever. She's actually standing as she's staring at the painting that Bastion was staring at before. The painting of the city being hit by the enormous sentient wave.
Well, seems like as if you won't really have to accompany me in declining the proposal anymore. I didn't realize that the very own chieftain had come to our village. Regardless, it has to be made formally done, so I'm still going to have to head south to their tribe and make it publicly known. I can't decline through a diplomat, no matter how influential they may be amongst the tribe.
Castle will listen and nod and actually kneel down on like one knee and bow his head down. I will say apologies. That was my doing and my fault. And I want to make that clear.
You see the fact that she seems to like kind of hold her face in her hand for a moment and is like rubbing at her temples.
Though, I did gather some...
Trust me, Rakim made that quite clear by the fact that he even bothered talking to me today.
I guessed as much. Though, I didn't come here without anything to offer. At least something to help. And he will pull out the 2 scrolls. Things get sticky, we can drop this, and then you can escape using this, handing her the scroll of Misty Step.
She takes the scroll in hand and she looks it over.
And the
Yes,
scroll...
sir. Was my sister here?
She was.
She knows she has other things that she should be doing. What is she... Regardless.
Doing as siblings
Right.
do. Probably worrying.
She has far greater matters to worry about. Regardless, I'll accept this. And
And the other one
it's
I
whatever.
have... And another one I have is the Scroll of Darkness. It'll at least help so that you can make your escape.
That could be its assistance, yes. It was doomed to be known what exactly was going on, since Rakim himself actually decided to come here. It was my own fault for not actually identifying who these people were before accepting the delegation.
No.
Regardless, this is the situation that we're in now. We'll still set off tomorrow, should you still wish to follow.
Of course. I made the situation more stickier, and I'm prepared to see it through.
Very well.
I've gotten used to traveling with good people, looking at Bon, and I will say, unfortunately, I've lost a lot of my touch in Lear's ways. Something I need to fix on. I apologize again.
She just shakes her head before she walks out of the door. And she gives a very loud whistling call. And you see the great wolf appear by jumping over the wall into the village, and while in midair, shifting into a smaller form and landing before her.
Okay, so she has that scroll, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off my inventory. He is good doggy.
Great wolf, it seems like as if we might have issues to deal with.
And what issues would those be?
It seems like as if the chieftain of the Red Eagles is here himself. They know that we plan on refusing the proposal, and it seems very unlikely that they're going to accept a different one. Unfortunately, due to obligations and traditions, we're still going to have to go to the tribe and make it public for the entire tribe, but that could lead to a very dangerous situation.
That was obvious from the start. What is the reason you called me?
The few winter wolves still under your control. Could they assist us?
You see the great wolf look at her, and then look over towards the two of you, and then pushes his head up and howls towards the sky. And it doesn't sound like a normal wolf howl. It like starts out normal, but then it seems to almost like sort of like weirdly reverberate and echo, like as if it's several wolves howling at the same time. And it sounds distant, yet near, all at the same time. It sounds extremely unnatural. And in response, you hear what sounds like a wolf howl come from the south. And then another wolf howl answers it from the east. And then another one answers it from the north. And then another one calls from the west, but it cuts off and then howls once more, and then cuts off again and howls a third time.
Three of the 4 packs will be able to assist you, my lady.
You see Kari give a nod before kneeling down and hugging the wolf and standing back up.
The wolves will be able to give us some assistance, but we shouldn't count on them to throw their lives away.
Of course.
If there's any last-minute preparations that you need to do, I'd recommend it being done today. We'll be setting out at first light tomorrow.
Sounds good to me. Bon?
Sounds fine.
Very well, we'll let Eris know.
All right. As you guys are about to head back, you see Rakeem, actually, move out from the shadows of one of the buildings.
So it seems that your endeavor to assist the Wolf Princess is still following. Yes?
Castorn just arches a brow at him and just continues on, not saying a word.
At least the little Lyrian has finally learned something. Don't worry. I'm not actually here to antagonize you.
That's
It's
okay,
more
your little
for-
woman friend can continue doing that.
Don't mind Liara. She is
A stick in the mud?
proud,
Hmm.
as you seem to be.
Eventually everyone's downfall, something I've got to work at. But nevertheless, continue.
I wish to talk to you. You in particular, being a priest of Liara,
Mm-hmm.
the mistress of Miss. Tell me, there is one particular person that is a high cleric of the mistress. I was wondering if you've met him before.
And the name?
I'm trying to think of it. Give me just a moment.
Oh, please, I have all the time in the world.
I
Kind of getting back into his little smirk.
believe his name was Belrog.
Do I know that name?
Yes, you do.
I know that name. So you've got to know that name.
Oh.
Maybe I don't know. But I might. It's been said.
You know that Belrog is the High Priest of Lier in Avengarde.
Oh, shit, it's him!
I was just curious. You have the badges of being mercenary knights of Avengarde. And yes, we do know what they are. Just because we're supposedly savages of the north doesn't mean that we don't have information of the southern friends that we have.
Heh.
And if I do, what's the information? What would you want from that?
You see a soft his face goes soft for a moment, like he's constantly had like this sort of like smug smile on his face, either that or just full on like grin, but that sort of like somewhat disappears as he looks towards you.
He is safe, yes?
Yes. Friend of yours? Maybe kin.
Kin, no. Friend, yes. I once served as a paladin of Lier. But my kin, as you so kindly put it, turned their back on me. Belrog is the only reason that I actually lived. I had to flee to the north in order to preserve my own life. But with him helping someone such as me, it would put him in a very dangerous situation. I wanted to make sure that he was not punished for assisting someone such as I. To know that he is in good health is good news for me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He seems 100% earnest with this. There is no joking
Yeah, that's
as he's saying this.
Yeah, Casson gets that. He's just still kind of... He just got schooled by him, so he's still on edge.
Yeah.
You should be.
Yeah, fuck you. No, it's fine. Hate all of you.
So...
All of you are
As he
mean
said
to
that-
me. It's
He
fine.
gives you this sort of weird, like, it looks somewhat like a salute, but it's like not a salute at the same time. You don't recognize it at all. Shoot. Bastion's not here. I was gonna have him roll a history check, but
Damn it.
Yeah, we had to sacrifice Bastion because we needed something to start a fire.
I know, right?
Shit.
Someone's gonna have to carry a robot.
It's okay, it's only the core. Just make a new body, shove it in there, it'll be fine.
Okay. Who the hell is texting
I
me?
eat the core.
No god, you've gained the power of Bastion. You now have the Bastion experience.
Please make that history roll Bastion experience.
But, yeah, no. He gives you some sort of, like, weird salute. And then, seeing that no one's really responding to it, he kind of scratches out his head for a moment before he kind of gives a very clumsy bow.
I wish you all a good day. I have matters to attend to.
Of course. Have a good day, I suppose. And Casson will leave.
And he leaves, and from the shadows of two different buildings, you see his two compatriots
Casson glares at the woman.
walk out, and as you glare at the woman, she, like, sticks her tongue out at you and gives you a, like, huge smirk. She looks satisfied the fact that she's getting under your skin.
Casper will stick his tongue out at her as well. You know that whole... No.
She
You know, have you seen...
laughed at you.
Have you seen fucking The Last Airbender Korra? Of, like, when Korra goes to the police chief, she's like, yeah. I had to find that fucking meme.
Yeah. She full-on laughs at you. Like, just laughs at you. Yeah.
Yeah, that exact fucking meme. Exactly that. Casper's that fucking petty.
I forgot that happened.
And people hate Korra. I like Korra. She was...
Oh no, I love...
She
was great.
Sassy bitch.
And I kind of like that about her.
Oh yeah, no, it was funny. It was a nice change from Aang's like goody two shoes personality.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
you guys can
Casson
think about
straight up
anything
does
that you want to do for next session, because it is 12:05 right now, and while I did start a little late due to my alarms for some reason not going off, we will go ahead and end it here, as really it would just be either roleplay or skipping the day and heading on to probably more travel and roleplay anyways, so.
Got it.
Oh, I see that.
I'd probably
Yeah.
try and stealth back well, not the next day, stealth back over to, oh wait, no, we'd leave the next day. Never mind, ignore me.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's for the rest of this day.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of would be to hunt for more of the frost berries.
Yeah, you guys are free to be able to leave the village and like go into the forest and stuff like that to scrounge for stuff if you wish.
Sure, we could do that.
There's nothing stopping you.
Yeah.
You can also scrounge around on like the sort of like, I can't really say plain that you're in, but like the area that you're in. I mean, it's kind of a plain, kind of not. I don't know. There's like some hills and stuff like that. It's not really like completely flat. I don't know what in the world you would call it, because it's got like sparse trees here and there, and it's got like some hills, but it's not really like, so it's not a plain, but it's not really like a hills area either. I don't know what you call it.
I don't know. It's a land. It is a frozen land.
Yeah, just the land around you.
Yeah, that cast on just with Bond, just like, I fucking hate that bitch.
Yeah. So you guys can think about what you want to do for next session for the rest of this day. Eris still had like another few hours of trying to decode it. In fact, yeah, another few hours of trying to decode it, because it's pretty much only been an hour since encountering the Wolf Princess and Rakim the Red.
Rakim's fine. I think he's really fucking cool. I want that bitch dead.
Yeah, I like him. I also like his voice.
I worked for like an hour on making that voice specifically for this character, and I was so excited to use it.
I like it.
I don't know, Rakim seems really fucking cool. Like, I really like this character. And like, schooling Castron like that, like, damn! Everyone's fucking roasting him today, but he deserves it. Jessica pulled a fucking dumb. Yeah. Like, as soon as I said it, I was like, fuck, what did I just do?
But yeah, it was quite fun to be able to use this voice, and then one other voice in particular that I made for this area. I was really excited to use.
I should stop the recording.